Most businesses know that AI can save them both time and money, but almost none of them actually know where to start when it comes to implementing AI into their current processes. Most will buy random tools, do a couple of tests, and then eventually give up because they never saw the outcome that most people are talking about that can be achieved, and they end up giving up because nothing sticks. In this video, I'm going to run you through a step-by-step guide on how to do a self-audit for your business, where you'll know where AI can cut costs, save staff time, and actually end up moving the needle within your company. I've worked with countless service-based business owners who are doing anywhere from $1 million a year all the way through to $10 million plus per year, and they always come back to the same problems. Each time we run these audits, we see these same issues over and over again, and that's what I want to address in this video. When you run this audit, you'll notice the bottlenecks in your business straight away. You'll then know how to implement AI to see an instant ROI instead of going around trying a new shiny tool over here or experimenting with another tool that's just launched. Think of this as an X-ray of your business before you start implementing AI. Step one is to map out your processes. This is something that a lot of people don't feel like they need to know because they initially think they know exactly what happens in their business, but you'll often find inconsistencies and areas they aren't 100% familiar with. So the first step is to just list out the business processes. For most businesses, it's simple things like sales and lead gen, client onboarding, customer service, HR and recruitment, and finance and reporting. Make sure you get them written down. Don't overcomplicate it, just simple sections within the business that you can start to work out the processes. The important point being here is if you can't map out these ideas onto paper, you're never going to be able to see where AI can be slipped into the business in order to automate some of those variations of tasks. It would almost be like trying to fix a factory where you don't actually know where the machines are. Step two is to identify the 3 biggest time wasters. Now, here's where I see 90% of businesses leaking time and money. Number one is data chaos. Your company's knowledge, like client notes, onboarding, proposals, reports, SOPs, client data, it's scattered all across PDF documents, Google Drive, email threads, Slack notifications, and there's no place to house all of this data in one repository. This means your staff are spending hours trying to find different bits of data across 4 or 5 different tools. This is where a simple fix could come in for AI. This fix would be an AI brain, a central knowledge base that is able to answer any question about the business within seconds. The second biggest time waster would be email overload. Customer service and internal emails eat up days. Most of them are repetitive, simple back and forth, and this is quite easily something that an AI could do for you. It could go out there and read the email, draft a response based on your company data, your tone of voice, your persona, so staff don't need to continuously ask the same questions, give client updates, share feedback on what has been going on, and all your staff members will need to do is approve of the email and send it out. Number 3 is there is no AI vision. Leadership teams within your business don't even fully know what's possible with AI, so aren't looking into AI to solve specific issues. This becomes a little bit of a mindset shift where as we're moving into 2026, there are so many possibilities that AI can do, people just don't believe them when they first hear about it. This means without training and change management, every tool you implement is likely going to die in silence because you're just running around in circles and not actually implementing systems into the back end. Chances are at least one of these systems is a problem within your business and a problem that AI could quite comfortably solve. Step number 3 is to score each of the systems on how valuable it would be to solve within the business. So this is essentially where we turn the idea into data. The way in which we do that is we want to take each process and score it on the time it is taking for the team to do. For example, time spent. How many hours per week is that task taking to do? Number 2 is repetitiveness. Are we continuously doing the same task over and over again? And is it just a mundane thing that one of the team members needs to get done? The next is value of automation. If AI was to take over this particular task, how much of an impact would it have on not just yourself, the team members around you, and the whole operation for whichever system that automation is solving? This doesn't need to be overcomplicated. It could be a simple 1 through 5 or 1 through 10, whatever works best for you in order for you to visualize which is a better solution. For example, customer service. It takes up a lot of time, it's very repetitive, and it could be definitely automated. That essentially would be an AI goldmine for that particular process. You might then want to look at finance reporting, which may not take up a lot of time, isn't particularly repetitive, and has quite a low impact on the business. Maybe it's not worth dedicating AI to that just yet, unless you're on a mission to automate everything in the business, in which case you might as well go ahead. Step 4 is quick wins versus strategic plays. Once you've run through all your processes and scored everything up, you'll very quickly see 2 types of opportunities. You'll get the quick wins, which would be things such as auto-drafting emails, summarizing meeting notes into actions, and then automating proposals before you send them out to clients. These are super easy to implement, they're fast, they get you in the AI realm very quickly, and you will definitely see some sort of impact from these automations. Then we've got strategic plays, which are much bigger builds, they do a lot more in the background, and they typically move the needle much more. This could be, for example, building that AI brain that we spoke about out with your data chaos. Centralizing all of your company data into one place, so whenever someone needs to access something, they can do so within seconds. Another bigger project could be automating your entire sales process. This could be from lead generation, lead reactivation, follow-ups, nurturing, whatever you do and spend time doing. There are ways to automate that, but it is a much bigger project. However, if you set it up right, you are definitely going to reap the rewards. Then we've got things like predictive analytics and churn. Wherever you store that data, you can migrate it into a database like Airtable, turn that into a reporting system where you're going to be able to customize the type of metrics you want to see, get a much more in-depth analysis into the business, and it is going to continuously update based on the other tools you built around it and how they all talk to each other. These tools take a little bit more time to build. There's a little bit more planning and logic that goes into them. However, if you can get these right, you're going to see a massive ROI over your quick wins. One particular client we worked with cut their customer service time by 40% simply by implementing a draft email system directly into their emails. This inevitably ended up saving them hundreds of hours a month because they didn't need to write the emails. We trained an AI on what they say at what point, draft it, they go in, read it, and click send. Now moving on to step 5, we have change management. This goes back to what I mentioned earlier, where it's a little bit of a mindset shift and you need to implement change into your business, but also be willing to accept change. The tech is relatively easy to install once you've got the processes. What becomes quite challenging is making sure your team are on board with it, understand how to use it, and are happy to trust it to do some of the other tasks that a human may have done previously. If your staff don't want to adopt the tools, it doesn't matter how clever your AI is. If your staff doesn't adopt the tools, it doesn't matter how good the AI is. The better way to do this would be to start small, roll it out to a small team, maybe that is customer service, show the other teams how well that worked, and then start to expand into other areas of the business. That way, people across the whole operation start to see how well it's performing, the benefits that they can get from using an AI within that particular system, and it means getting used to AI isn't just something that they need to do, it's something that they want to do because they start to see how it can benefit their job. And there we go. That's a super easy way to find some areas within the business, find what you can automate, score the automation on how relevant it's going to be to the operation, separate the quick wins from the strategic plays, and start to manage the change that's going to come for your team members. Once you start to map out everything, you'll have a very clear direction on where AI can be implemented, what's demanding AI more than other operations, and you won't be guessing where AI can be implemented because you may have seen something in a TikTok video. Now, if you want to do this yourself, you can grab a pen or paper, go into a Notion dashboard, something along those lines, or if you'd rather us do it for you, where we will do a full AI audit from every process across your operation, then book in a call below. Either way, if you take this exact framework, you will start to find ways to automate at least up to 30% of your daily operations.